me softly, I have to choose. Should I leave or should I stay with you? I am addicted, we are too close. One more day and I'll overdose. Killing me softly, I gotta choose. Keep my life or lose myself in you. I'm so addicted, it has to end. But why do I keep holding your hand? I am stuck and I'm hypnotized. Visions of you come and stay the entire night. My mind is buried, rescue out of sight. Crazy me, what do I not see? That you are living poison in my veins. Put the needle in me so that I feel free. I let loose, give you the key. Pray that you'll be dead to me. Ashamed, this is my destiny. Crazy me, what do I not see? That you are living poison in my veins. Put the needle in me so that I feel free. I let loose, give you the key. Pray that you'll be dead to me.
That the brothers on the rise now. Woo! Endless celebrations all in my house. Yeah. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. Yeah. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my get ISO. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Facts, lot of haters. Tell me where they at, though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap, though. Yeah. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup. That's why we ain't on the same page. No. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Woo. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
You're my Peter one, taking me home. One thing really do one. See that you're the worst, but I don't know. Is that true? We both feel the silence with things they think they know. Baby, that's why I just be free and let it all go. Let's go. I don't care what you say, it's true. Don't matter to me, 'cause I want you. I want you. The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come, it's all losing my control. The light is gone, the night is come, it's crazy by. You could save me from my isolation. My eyes are complicated. I stop these conversations. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. got no relation.
Some form of control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion.
Hello everyone and welcome to another AFR broadcast. Today we're coming to you live from Austria, round 9. As usual, I am Kuno0 and with me is C Carrot.
Salutations all.
Alright, so we should be getting ready to kick off very, very soon. Just waiting on some of the drivers to get themselves ready. And we should be popping in to the start of qualifying. Now usually I would have an updated scoreboard and everything for you. However, this week with the coronavirus stuff and me having to figure out what's happening for work, I sort of spaced out and forgot about it. So, are you guys at home? My bad. But I should have one updated for the next round. So, while we're waiting, let's talk about the obvious upset thing, which is that obviously we don't have an F1 Grand Prix to watch.
Absolutely. I could probably get by if that was the only thing we were missing, but the whole world shut down, so everything's a bit sad.
Yeah.
And of all, the regulations getting pushed back. I mean, that's just...
It sucks. It really does suck, yeah.
Autonomy is an illusion.
I
I'll
mean,
never forget.
yeah, I mean,
Never
like,
forget China's transgressions.
so just waiting so long, and then it happens, and they're there. It's not like they didn't even go there. They're there. They were there. Everyone was there, and then they're just like, nope.
That was absolute blue balls for everyone involved, which is a real shocker. But hey, at least we can entertain ourselves in the virtual world of Formula One. So
Yes, true.
hell of a grid tonight. Looks like that for both races too, actually.
Does. Alright, so we should be able to switch over now. Let's get ourselves set up. So yes, while we do no longer have an F1 Grand Prix to look forward to, at least for the immediate future, we do always have AFR. And as long as, I or C Carrot don't contract the coronavirus, we should be fine. Let's have a look here. Dry race. Okay. Good to know. So it doesn't look like anything's going to jump out of us.
Pretty typical there for Tier 1.
Wow, full! It's a full lobby!
Oh, how awesome's this?
And Shrimp retires from the session. It was a full lobby.
He's not carrying any penalties either, so that's probably a natural one.
Yeah, not sure. Okay, well, either way, people are starting to go up on track, so we can get this started. Of course, 18 minutes on the clock for our drivers, as we see Apollo Pepsi, the first on the track, to warm up the tyres and go for the qualification lap. So, C Carrot, what are your expectations for this race?
Jeez, I love Austria. It's just a great track. So you never know what's going to get here. I mean, you always look and you expect to see the typical, your Revos, your Sebs, your Mikaus. But I want to throw something on a dark horse tonight. I want Potsy to get up. I don't know if it'll happen, but I want him to. He's been there or thereabouts. He's come in with the bronze medal and the silver medal. I want to get him on the top of the podium tonight. I hope it can happen.
All right, we'll have to have
There's
a
my
look.
commentator curse. So sorry about that one in advance, Potsy.
Yeah, no, Potsy really showing really good pace, really good driver. Has been played with internet issues, but they've been dying down as recently. So hopefully that'll be the case. Just an update. So Ali in the chat is letting me know that Shrimp has a quali ban, and I believe it's because of the mega dives that he was doing.
Okay.
I do remember something about that, but I didn't know whether or not he did actually get a quali ban. But thank you, Ali, for clarifying that. So we just hit the 16-minute mark as Apollo is the first one on track to start his flying lap. Moving through Sector 2 now. I can't remember what the decent times are in Austria are, but they're in the 110s.
I'll tell you very soon.
Yeah, well, that's
yeah,
it. We'll find out soon enough, won't we?
I'm just excited. Is this the first time we've had an actual full grid?
It's not the first time we've had a full grid, but it's the first time in a long time for sure.
It's the first time I've seen one anyway.
Alright, so Apollo Pepsi will cross the line, and we're looking at a 104.7 to kick us off. There's a couple of more people coming across. So Flyboy, his teammate, comes across with a 104.8. Gus Sprules with a 105.3. And all qualifying on the soft tyre, like right off the bat. So leaving nothing to chance. Major pain there for Haas with a 106.
Pretty good track for tyre wear, I think. So not a huge surprise on this one. You want to be quick. Those hard tyres are nice and slow here. So
a bunch of other people coming across. Revo sets his first lap at a 121.7. So obviously a massive warm-up. T-Mac fitting in there, 6th position, 105.1. His teammate, Jacob Meister, just under with a 105.3. Matsoid putting himself up there, 104.8. Bandcamp slots in 2nd with a 104.7. Currently on board with Combined, who is starting on the hard tyre. So he's getting his out of the way. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. Hopefully that doesn't affect him too badly during the race. Still waiting on just under half the grid to set a time. Mikau will crack provisional pole. As of now, 104.3. Combined makes his way through the last sector now. Now, of course, on Austria, there has been a general announcement for our drivers for those in Tier 1 and Tier 2, which is, of course, due to the penultimate corner and the way it is set up. All drivers who are to go into the pit lane must use the pit lane slip road, because we can't really afford to have drivers cutting across the track, and you also cause confusion for those behind. So for anyone who does not abide by that, they will be given a penalty that has been determined from the stewards. So hopefully everyone keeps their nose clean. We don't have to see anything.
Tough track for that. Really, really sharp, difficult pit entry to get right because of that lead in that blind corner. We saw in real life last year it went wrong for a few guys as well, so it's not a huge surprise. And with so many cars on track tonight, it's going to be wild. So hopefully everyone abides by that one.
It's definitely going to be wild. And I'm going to apologise to everyone watching at home now. We try our best to keep on top of all the battles, but it is kind of hard. So with 20 cars, just bear with us. I will try my best to keep on top of all of them. Jared Lopp on Twitch, just wondering if AFR is on PC. Yes, we are. We are primarily a Australia-New Zealand sim group, and we do host our races on the PC version of Formula 1 2019. I lost my train of thought. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I also have had some issues with the setup of the stream. Streamlabs decided to die on me, so I had to redo everything. So if the volume sounds out, whether it be my volume, whether it be C-Carrot's volume, or the game in general, just let us know and I'll try and adjust it on the fly for you guys so it doesn't sound too off. So Smitty comes across there, finishes with the medium tyre on a 107.0. That puts him in 16th. So three drivers left to set a time. For, of course, Shrimp has a qualification ban, hence the early retirement. Let's jump on board with T-Mac. He's currently on an out lap. He is sitting 9th so far, looking to improve that time. Jared Love, do we have any Xbox leagues? Unfortunately not. We are primarily a PC group, and as such, we're set up on PC. But that's not to say that we won't ever. However, just as it stands, we're only PC. But stay tuned, I guess, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's just a numbers thing, really.
Actually, you know what? I'll say this, but if Codemasters gets their act together and enables crossplay, then we won't have this issue. And it'd be brilliant. So, Codemasters, if you're watching, which you're not, but if you are, write that down.
You got to give them a break. There's at least another year of development thanks to Corona happening.
Yeah, actually, the only thing I would love more than this is if they release F1 2020 like on time, and when everyone goes, "Oh, where'd you get your measuring data?" They just go, "Oh, winter testing." Yeah. That'd be brilliant.
Oh man, it's just going to be a patch, is all I can see it at this point. What are they going to change for next year? But,
I have faith. Look, I think it was Combat that was telling me that it seems like they have this every second game. It's like 2016 was good, 17 was bad, 18 was good, 19 was bad. So hopefully that stays. Okay, so on board with T-Mac. So currently 9th, looking to improve that time. He is in the top 10, but T-Mac has been improving rapidly over the season, so hopefully he'll be able to push his way up. I'm thinking around 4th or 5th for him. I know that he's fast. He did have some issues. And as I say that, he catches himself in a little bit of a wobble. So that's going to abort that lap. That's unfortunate. Yeah,
it's nice to see T-Mac doing well. It just proves he was a bit too fast for T2 last year, last season, I should say. So, slotting in nicely. And
that's the goal, I guess, here in AFR, is where it's designed to allow people to evolve over time and do that, work their way up from Tier 2 to Tier 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Good enough. Do you think they will have the Australian GP and F1 20? Oh, for sure, man. They'll have the game. Obviously, the game doesn't get affected by any of that stuff, but it'll have the full 2020 calendar. So it'll have Vietnam, Netherlands, Germany won't be in there unless they decide to do, which would be sick. But I might be jinxing myself if they decided to have historical tracks. So, let's imagine going back to Malaysia, Sepang. If we could have Imola, if we could have things like that, that'd be awesome. But I don't think so. I think it'll just be the F1 2020 calendar. That means the 22 races going from, and everything in its standard its slot. And they'll obviously have a ton of data that we can't see and access to help them develop the game fully. I say that as Revo goes across with a 103.7. This guy's too fast, man.
Yes.
He's too fast. It's ridiculous. Like, it's good to see. It's lovely to see. But, God, he's fast.
It's not a bad looking grid at the moment. Everyone's fairly tight, except for, you've got your anomaly. If you treat it like statistics and you get rid of your top number and your bottom number and you average out the rest, we're going pretty well.
That's wicked. All right, so 8 minutes 20 on the clock. Pretty much everyone's set a lap time except for Wahid and Lotus. So the Mercedes are deciding to let the track evolve a little bit longer. See if they can study some of the other drivers before they go out. Wahid is definitely ridiculously fast sometimes. It's amazing to see him drive. And Lotus has the talent, but always seems to get caught up in something. And it's so unfortunate because it's the same thing that happens to Nut as well. Nut gets himself in like this really good position and then he just like pins the wall or something. It's so annoying to watch. But anyway, it is what it is. So Revo sets another fastest lap again. 103.7. Did he literally beat it by 1,000?
Yeah, it wasn't much in it.
Anyway.
Yeah, Lotus is one of those guys that if there's a first lap incident, he's going to be the innocent bystander. It's almost always the case. But, yeah.
All right.
It's a nice close field here, actually. Revo's only half a second up on second. That's usually almost a second. So we've got a good field here. It's a good track for
it is. Austria is a great track. It's one of those tracks where it evolves great. Like there's so much battles that can happen. The DRS zones are in really good spots. There are a little bit of places that can set you off. Like for example, moving through, you can watch Seb here as he comes through the last sector of the track. It gets really touchy, especially through that horn, the shoehorn section, in the middle. But it is what it is, and sometimes it lends itself to really, really good racing. As Seb comes across the line with a 104.3, that'll set him in a second. Nice. Not quick enough to catch the likes of Revo, but second's pretty good. Forces Mikau out, and that's going to make Mikau want to try and beat it. He's currently on a fastest lap, but I think he'll pull in. I think I saw it set that he was 2 seconds out, so I'll leave that one. Let's jump down to Greeny here, one half of the Prancing Horse team. They've been getting better and better as the season progresses. They had a really shocking start to the season, both of them getting involved in incidents left and right. But hopefully they can bring it back for Team Red. Oh no, Greeny's deciding to pull into the pit.
Shown us perfectly how to use that pit entry as well.
That's exactly right. That's what we expect from all of the team members. As T-Mac goes out for his second flying lap. Messed up the first one. Hopefully he'll be able to improve. Racing for Williams. And here we go. Starts his flying lap. Moving his way up to turn 1. Hard on the brakes. Down to 4th gear. You want to try and ride it carefully because those curves are slippery. Then you move up into the first DRS section. All through the gears. Actually, no. Oh, yes, he did. Late shift into 8th. Then hard on the brakes as you make your way into that first hairpin turn. And then here's where the car gets really unsettled because you've got a short shift if you're running without traction control. Otherwise, the elevation and the torque from the car throws you into the wall. Down into the second part of the track. Another one of those short shifts as he just slices, showing exactly what I'm talking about. Then down into 5th, possibly into 4th. There it is. Holds the traction through. Flyboy moves out of the way as to not prevent the time. And then a nice ride through here. Got to be careful because you can invalidate on that curb, but he does it pretty well. And then hard through the gears here. Shifts down into 6th. You want to hog that apex, and that's done pretty well. Down into 4th. Just enough. That's not going to invalidate. Oh, he's lucky, and he'll come across the line with a 105. That'll solidify him in 10th. So it's not a bad lap.
Only improved by a 10th.
Yeah, not a bad lap.
A little bit of loss of traction there on a couple of corners, I think. Rear end was a bit slippery, hurt him down the straight bits, but not a bad lap, really. As Wahid, I think, is about to... he's halfway through his first flying lap. Let's see what he can set as well. It's a good one. Ooh,
that was massively on the inside. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, he's that invalidated for sure. Yeah, he might have to go again here just to get something on the board.
Oh, and my controller is disconnected. That's awesome.
She gone flat on you?
No. It just timed out. Like, whatever that was. Alright. Let's go up to Lotus, who's currently on a flying lap. Second half of the Mercedes team. So 3 minutes 40 on the clock. Let's have a look. So Revo still in provisional pole, 103.7. Seb with that 104.3 puts him in to second. Mick out, not far behind, with a 104.33. And then Flyboy in fourth with a 104.335. 4 1,000ths of a second. Splits him and Mick out. That is nothing at all. But then again, in racing terms, that is quite a long time.
Yeah, it's also something that may not mean anything after the first couple of corners. It could be crazy old start, just with that nice drag.
Of course, the mouse cursor is freaking captured.
Ah.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you for telling me.
Nice.
God damn it! Why can't things just work? All right. So Lotus coming around that final sector now. Oh, nice use of the apex there. There we go. So this is going to look like a pretty good time in the 104s, maybe? 105.1, so that'll put him into 12th. He comes around that corner. Now, let's jump up a couple of positions to Potsy, who is currently on an out lap. He's looking to set a faster time, currently sitting on a 104.8. As he comes around that final sector. And he'll start his flying lap. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Using every inch of track there. Unfortunately, no toe in sight, so fair bit of drag up this hill for him.
Nice short shifts there, keeps the traction on. What'll that mean for his Sector 2 time? Coming down the hill now.
PB at least. And he has to improve by 2/10 to get up near that podium place, really. So
That's a crosses. So he is 1/10 up on his time. So right now it looks like he could skip Bandcamp here in the standings. Only 1/10 between them. Not even, actually.
ooh, pretty quick through there, nice and flat.
Went a little bit sideways with the car, but he's held it well. It's going to be in the 104s. And it is to 104.65. That'll let him jump 2 places there. Gets over Bandcamp and Apollo. Not bad for the McLaren.
Oh, he'd be wishing he had Flyboy right there in front of him on the last lap. Just saved a 10th up there. Toe is pretty big around here. That first corner straight. You can gain a lot of time if you got a decent pull up the hill.
Alright, so now we're on board with Bandcamp. Let's see if he can reclaim that place. We've got 30 seconds on that clock now. Of course, we do have desync with the spectators, so they do have a little bit of extra time. But most of the guys will be out for their final laps. We'll see if the Renault can get closer to his teammate who's currently on provisional pole. And he's probably going to take it. So moving through Sector 2 now.
Also got Wahid right behind him as well. Looking to set his first lap. It's going to have to be a good one.
Leaving it right to the end. Alright, so Geordie with the first finalised lap, 104.5, currently 5th. Revo sets a 2 1,000ths faster with a 103.701. Bandcamp comes around that last corner, a little bit unsettled on the last apex, but it will cross with a 104.79. And it's unfortunately not enough to jump the 2 that are in front. He will stay 9th, no, 10th, as Wahid sets the 5th fastest at a 104.499.
Best till last for Wahid. Not bad, actually, because there's time he could have gained there. It was a little bit sloppy in the middle sector. He missed a whole curb, so pretty impressive stuff. If he can nail a perfect lap, he'll be right up there.
Alright, so Miko with a finalised lap there. He'll stay 2nd. Flyboy is technically still on a flying lap. We'll see if it's going to improve at all. No, he'll pull into the pits. As everyone else is coming down.
Potsy's coming across.
So Potsy's looking to improve. And he does by 1. He gets up to 8th. Jumps Apollo with a 104.567.
Geez, that's tight there.
And, I mean, let's be honest. Let's have a look at these times. These are ridiculously close. Revo is the only person in the threes. From there, Mikau, Flyboy, Seb, Matzoid, Wahid, and Geordie are within 5/10.
Poor old Mikau, so close to breaking that 103. Elite company that would have been. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive. You can throw a towel on half the field.
Yeah. No, that's
Not
awesome.
much in it at
We
all.
should be in for an absolute cracker. Cracker of a race.
When your slowest guy out there is only a second off a podium place in time, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right, so there is your finalised grid. Revo will take pole position with a 103.7. Mikau very close behind with a 104.005. Flyboy in third with a 104.1. And Seb will start fourth with a 104.3. And we've got great times all the way down. Look at that. The person in 19th is only, six tenths. Oh, sorry, no. That's once. Even then, it's only 1 second. It's not even 2 seconds.
That's pretty close.
That's what you want,
to be only a second off that.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Real.
Ooh, it's overcast. They told me it was a dry race, but my
Ooh,
God, that's
so it
overcast. That could
We're on
affect.
dynamic, so it can change any moment, can't it? So we've seen it a few times, especially in Tier 2. I've seen it where it says it's going to be dry the whole time and rain comes out of nowhere. So it's possible.
Oh wow! So Matt's letting us know that Mikau's lap of a 104.005 is a tenth quicker than his TT. He did a. Wow! He did. That's awesome. He did it faster in a qualification event than in a time trial. That's
He's
wicked.
peaking when you want to peak.
That's wicked. Should have been in the
that's
chat.
actually-
Everyone just started yelling at each other. Okay, I'm assuming busy track. Everyone telling
It's
each
hard to
other,
know
get out of the way.
the dynamic with the trial because obviously time trial it doesn't use ERS, does it?
Time trial has ERS on. Its
Oh, it
ERS
does,
is on like permanently 5.
Oh,
Like,
is
it's
it?
just,
Right.
yeah. So it's
I
just
thought it
always
was
on hot
just
lap.
a-
But funnily enough, that's not the fastest. It's not the fastest way. So
Yeah.
overtake gives you better power in higher gears.
Yeah.
But an
Yeah,
ERS doesn't have
7 and 8,
tyre
yeah.
wear either, and you have a predetermined amount of fuel. I think it's like six liters or something. So
that makes me think. Well, something's got to have given for him to be so much quicker. Maybe track temp helped out.
yeah, I
a
don't
little
know,
bit.
but that's
Maybe
that's
he
an
had a bit
awesome
of a toe, but yeah, that's a hell of a lap for him.
lap. Yeah, no, it's an awesome lap.
Hopefully, he can do more of it in the race, and we may actually have a challenger for Revo in our hands.
Maybe. All right, so while these guys get set up, let me.
Speaking of, now we're getting into the race session. I can get the telemetry on because it shouldn't crash me out.
There we go. Session's about to start, so everyone's starting to get ready. Ooh, okay.
So, last race 2 weeks ago, we saw possibly the best ever French Grand Prix. Let's hope for the same here at Austria. Should be good. I'm bloody keen. Bloody keen.
All right, so formation lap is underway. Full grid. That is so beautiful to see. Oh my god. All right, so Revo leading the pack on their final slow lap of the track, getting last chance to get those tyres and brakes warm. And oh god, look at all those colours on that mini map. Oh, it's good to see.
Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely
is.
awesome.
Austria also has some really good camera angles, so I'm hoping that they stick well and we can get a good view of the race. We've got Newell in the chat there. Fuel mix goes higher in qualifying versus time trial. That's right, it does. Time trial stays at standard, I believe, whereas in qualifying you can hit it all the way up to max. So that's true. Yes, that is very, very true.
Yeah, bloody hard to tell which is going to be faster or there, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful track for camera angles, actually, this one. You can see almost a third of it. couple of them. A good few.
It's got some good helicopter ones as well. That's one of the things I'm hoping for F1 2020. I really do hope that they allow us to have better control.
I'd just like some custom camera angles.
Yeah, that would be mad.
Give us a virtual one that we can just place somewhere, you know. But,
that would be mad.
Anyway, we can always dream.
And let me use mods, damn it. Oh man, I had the tracks so.
What happened there?
I had the tracks so high quality. Everything was updated. It was brilliant, and the game's like, no, can't play online. That was upsetting.
I was going to be waiting for Shrimp. He had a spin there.
Yeah.
In the middle sector, so not ideal for him. Obviously, he didn't get any practice in qualifying, as he had to sit it out.
All right. So we got Matt in the chat. Forza Red Bull. So on that, let's kick things off with Seb, currently sitting 4th. We'll stay on with him as the grid gets ready to take off. Now, it's Austria, and there's 20 cars. There's a good to fair chance something might happen here in turn 1.
No DCs, let's go.
We'll see what happens. All right, waiting for those 5 red lights to turn off so we can kick things going, and there they go. So Revo gets a pretty decent start. Mikhail right behind. Everyone seems to have gotten a decent launch as they come around the grid. And as we're looking, it seems like 2 people are in each other, but it's a little bit of lag there. Someone's timed out. It looks like
McLaren Ghost there, I think.
Potsy.
Yep. Yeah.
But so far, no incidents. Yeah, wow, Potsy is in another car right now.
Oh.
That's weird.
Oh, we've got impact to the back. We've got a 4-way. Oh, a couple of the Williams caught up there. I see some wings going flying. Gus. We've still got 4 cars back there. They're all going again, so no one's out, but there's some impacts.
There's some pretty massive damage that I can see. Looks like T-Mac got away with it, but I think Nuts got an end plate missing. Yes, he does. It's on that left side. So, right up the top of that first hairpin, that's the one that got him.
Yeah, I think Combined was actually up in the air sideways at one point, so lucky to get away with what he has.
All right, back into the middle of the grid. We're currently on board with Potsy, who is the closest.
Struggling out in the dirt again.
Just trying to catch Matoid here in the Red Bull.
Oh, T-Max into the wall. T-Max into the wall.
Wow, just at the end of sector, or just at the start of sector 3. Oh, as Major Payne gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Lap 2. Oh, it begins already. As we say that, Potsy's trying to do his best to get on the inside of Matsoid. Can he do it? There's going to be contact just a little bit on those tyres. And now have a look. Apollo's trying to look up on that left side. He's drag racing the McLaren down the hill now.
Ooh, bit of argy-bargy there. Bit of how do you do.
Oh, so Potsy makes his way through. Apollo slots in behind. And then there's Smitty there in the back, looking to capitalise on both. Bandcamp currently sitting 11th behind him. Jacob Meister in 12th.
Oh, what a great lap 1 for half the field, and what a devastating one for the other half.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Changes on the go. Surprised to not see a safety car out of all that. A lot of shrapnel there on that corner.
So DRS is now enabled. We're here on lap 3. So this is going to throw a wrench in the works, especially when it comes to overtaking opportunities as they make their way up the first main straight-ish of DRS. You can see some of these gaps are ridiculously close. Fireboy is trying to catch up on the Seb there. 0.2 the gap. Wahid close behind. Bandcamp's also trying to catch. He goes out a little bit wide there through the hairpin, but he manages to hold it as Jacob Meister trying to chase him down.
Flyboy purple there through the first sector, showing that toe plus the DRS. As Revo hasn't quite been able to shake Mikau off his tail yet either, which is a good sign.
Alright, so far so good for this grid. So looks like Major Payne got caught in the heaviness of it through that lap, and looks like Nut and T-Mac also caught. It's pretty rough. T-Mac is already in threat of being lapped by Revo.
Oh, how hard he hit that wall. He's actually quite lucky to still be in this race.
So it's a little bit rough. Jumping on board with Wahid now, who's trying to chase down the racing point of Flyboy. Flyboy trying to do the same as Seb. Will jump up one position. Let's have a look how he goes around. Seb takes that corner quite well. Gets a much better launch than the Racing Point. But doesn't have DRS. Is more than a second away from Mikau, who is also more than a second away. Oh, a massive lock up there from Flyboy. This might allow Wahid to catch up. You can see him adjusting the ERS settings there.
You're going to have to get used to this. These soft tyres will go off pretty quick, I think. So
I think we'll see what is lap probably 7 or 10. Oh, as Geordie clips the inside of that apex, there's definitely a warning for him there. Matsoy trying to capitalise on that tiny mistake. There's Flyboy. He is so much faster on this straight than Wahid. Left him for dead. Comes around turn 1 and is in a prime spot to make an overtake on Seb. It's going to be all guns firing. Now he's going to make a decision. Left or right. Seb decides to stay on that left side. Flyboy goes up on the inside, but now he's got to make sure he doesn't outbrake himself. Oh, he's taking it. There's still drag racing down. As it stands, the Red Bull is in the lead and he'll keep it.
Great exit there for Seb there. It's invited Wahid into the chat. Shrimp picks up 3 seconds for cutting.
Got a sector 2 yellow flag. As it stands, doesn't seem anything major.
Still moving around.
Ali in the chat saying lap 13. Softs will last to lap 13. Oh,
Okay, there you go. That's a bit more than usual, so okay.
Oh, we're already seeing blue flags out. I feel so bad for T-Mac. He's now sunk in between all of this. Mikau and Revo both have overtaken him. Seb and Flyboy and company are about to barrel down. And he's got no choice. He's stuck. He's just got to keep racing his race.
Absolutely. Yeah, just keep your head down. There's so far to go. Anything can happen from here.
So Shrimp goes into the pits. Smitty with a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and Flyboy goes to make the move again up on the inside. But the Red Bull seems to have better traction going on the outside of the track right now. They are side by side, but Seb is a nose in front, and he'll keep that position. That is great driving from the Red Bull.
Yeah, I think that it could even come down to wing settings on that one. Flyboy, a little bit less drag on the straight, but Seb, a bit more grip, a bit more downforce in the corner exits. Might be helping there.
And all the while this Racing Point's trying to chase down the Bull in front, the Silver Arrow behind is making more and more time. We're seeing Wahid drop off a little bit on those straights, but through those corners, he's got the aerodynamics to carry him through. You can see how much speed he carries through these. Down in a 4th gear now as they come. And as you notice, as they come to this straight, Flyboy disappears. Right now they're maintaining speed due to the DRS, but usually Flyboy's out of there. Oh, but he's going to pull himself up mad quick there. Wahid almost bumping into the Pink Panther.
Had to overbrake, and that's hurt him up the hill a little bit. But Flyboy, he looked a little bit squirrely through the corners. Yeah, he looked for the dive. Thought better of it.
Oh my God, and Geordie mounts the curb on the inside. He's got to be really careful there. That unsettles your car so bad. You really don't want to get caught out. Right, so it is lap 7 of 36. And right now, everyone from 4th to 10th is within 1 second of each other. And that is awesome to see.
Yeah, from Smitty's camera angle, you can see half the field still. It's pretty nice flowing. Looking on his T-cam. The ants go marching.
Nice apex there from Wahid and the Mercedes, trying desperately to catch up to Flyboy. But every time they get onto these main straights, Flyboy seems to escape him. But right now, it does look like he's getting a little bit quicker. Let's have a look here. The DRS, let's engage. As they make their way up through turn 1. Yeah, it's maintaining speed. Wahid might actually have this in the bag now. Wahid also using a much heavier brake bias on that car. You can tell Flyboy is braking very, very early, sometimes catching Wahid off guard as he goes on the inside. He's brave, but he knows it's not going to work too well, so he backs off just a little bit, but it was a great peak.
he got a much better run through this set of S's last lap. We'll see if it works again. Flyboy just loses the rear a little bit there. Oh, not so bad this time. Much better.
So all the while where they're doing this, Geordie sitting in 6th with the Alfa Romeo. He is catching up as well. He's brought it down to 0.2, so currently closer to Wahid than Wahid is to Flyboy, and Flyboy has had that lead extended to 0.9. Seb is chasing this away. Flyboy's trying to catch up. It's not working that well. Wahid's trying to keep the distance, and all the while, he's getting barreled on. Behind him, Matzoid.
Matzoid got a terrible exit on that first corner. Will he go for the dive? He thinks better of it. Oh, this is some good stuff. It's either going to end in tears or in joy. This is...
So Shrimp with a 3-second time penalty, and as it stands, man, this is a really, really good race so far. Lap 9 of 36. We still got more than 3 times the race to go. And
just closing up on Greeny as well. A couple of battle packs going. We've got that 4th to 10th.
Ooh, Revo picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This might be a blessing for Mikau. Now, admittedly, Revo usually ends up finishing these races with like an 18-second lead. But
someone's hoping for coronavirus to hit the track right now so they call this thing off. As it stands, Mikau takes the win.
Matzoid picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. That's going to give Potsy some breathing room. Oh, it is wicked to see some of these cars and how close they are. Flyboy, again, trying to peak that Red Bull. But every time they get onto a straight, that Red Bull just says goodbye. However, he was close enough. Flyboy does have the DRS advantage, but chooses to go on the outside. Will he have the traction to cut him? No, not quite. He slides a little bit. Oh, but have a look at this! Drag racing all the way through the end of Sector 2. Major Payne picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Flyboy's pretty nice there. He could have probably forced the issue a bit there. He could have been more aggressive.
I don't think it'll pay, though. I think Flyboy understands that there's so many laps left. Oh, gets a little bit of drifting there.
He was just being nice. The status quo remains as Revo pits.
So Revo pits lap 11. Okay.
Goes on the mediums.
So Revo looking for the undercut. We'll keep an eye on Mikau and see how that works out.
He's timed it pretty well. He's going to come out in a gap. No real traffic around him.
You can see how close Flyboy is. The closest of anyone in the top 10. But he just can't seem to put the nail in the coffin. Even through here before he was peaking, now he's just sliding behind. Ooh, Seb gets a little bit sideways off the apex of the corner. Those curbs, deadly slippery.
Red Bull's just fantastic coming out of the corners.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit struggling on the straights, but that corner grip it's got, it's just phenomenal. Look at it through there, just glued down.
And all the while, Wahid's making time back on Flyboy. This could be the time it makes the attack, but it looks like Flyboy is going in that slip road. And that'll mean Flyboy will pit, as well as Geordie. So Revo with the first.
Oh, Geordie. Damn it. There's always someone.
Oh, no. All right, so Geordie will pick up a 5-second for that mistake. Looks like Potty went into the pits as well. And Apollo Pepsi's retired from the session. Something's happened there. He's off the track.
Oh, we got a VSC. We got a virtual car out there. So that'll help those still yet to pit.
Not sure where he is. There he is off the track. He's hit it. So Apollo Pepsi has crashed himself out of this race. Okay. And a virtual safety car has been triggered. This is exactly what Revo was hoping for. That's going to absolutely mince any form of advantage that Mikau had at the front. Oh, what a reset. Thank you, Coach, for joining us. You've come at the opportune moment, I would say. Okay, so our first DNF of this race. Unfortunately, Apollo has put himself into the wall coming out of turn 1. And you can see now Mick how decides to take...
We've got a couple of strategies taking place out there now. We've got a few guys on the hard tyres. Geordie and Jacob and Shrimpo out there on the fresh hards. The other guys took the fresh mediums, so... Those medium runners... They'll be trying to make it to the end, I guess, from here, but... Mediums won't be in great shape by the time they get there.
Alright, so the race has now restarted. DRS has been re-enabled. Well, lap 13 of 36, and Revo has taken the lead back with a 5.8 second gap to Mikau, and that was, honestly, that was so opportune. That was ridiculous.
So it looks like Lotus was a bit of a loser out of that, as he had to pit there at the end of the safety car. So it's dropped all the way down to 14th.
Alright, so Wahi just overtook Combined there, but Combined is on those soft tyres. However, they are 12 laps old, so I don't think he'll be in battle contention. Ooh, Jesus, having a hard break there. And as we restart this race, all of the gaps are starting to fill in. You can see those first 6 are ridiculously out there. Revo to Mikau 6 seconds, and then from Mikau onwards, it's pretty much 2 seconds apiece.
Interesting to see if Geordie can keep up with Potsy here on the slower compound. He's doing alright so far.
Oh man, okay, so Combined decides to go into the pit. Band's had a little bit of a mishap. Smitty's managed to overtake him on that straight. All 3 cars have DRS as they come up into turn 1. It looks like Smitty's trying to make that inside move on Gus Rules. They're still side by side. The game says Smitty's in front. Have a look at Bandcamp looking to capitalise on all of it as well. He decides to overtake the Ferrari.
Gus's old tyres not helping him there. He just got ganged.
Yeah, 13 laps of wear will do that. Absolute performance shot. And Bandcamp's going to have no trouble getting past. And have a look. Matzoid's looking to capitalise on both.
Oh.
Little bit of a lock up there from the Renault, but he makes it in front. Now Matzoid's looking. Oh, there's contact there. Doesn't look like any damage though. Matzoid gets out of it.
He was there at all.
Woo!
He was blind on that one. He was like, "Oh, there's a Red Bull sitting there. Who knew?"
It's a bit crazy, but they make it through. Gus Rules surely has to pit.
He's limping.
Surely has to pit. There it is. Goes up on the right side of the track.
Probably a lap too late for him, unfortunately. That hurt. Geordie's doing well to be keeping up on Potsy here in the slower compound. I was keeping an eye on it last lap. He wasn't even using DRS when he had it. He's still not using it. He's got DRS and he's not using it. So, I'm not sure what's going on with Geordie, whether it's broken or what, but he's got it. He's not using it.
Oh man, so Flyboy goes up on the inside of Greeny.
Well, he
has
gets him.
The fresher tyres. As Flyboy makes it past Greeny. Currently on 14 lap old mediums. Decided to start on those. We'll see how well that goes for him. He's going to have to look at pitting at some point soon.
Strange. Geordie. 3 straight DRS sections without using it, so...
Might have a failure.
That's a shame for him because he's doing really well keeping up with Potsy on the slower compound. Playing the long game. Still in a pretty good position.
Back down to 10th here. Bandcamp in the Renault. Trying to chase down Smitty in that Red Bull. In the Toro Rosso, I should say. The Red Bull is behind Bandcamp. So right now he's being sandwiched in between the...
Just making some good pace up there on Band.
Look at this. Nice train. Band's going to look up on the inside. Will he have the braking zone of support? And it looks like he will.
Slid like a glove through there on the overtake for Band.
Makes the move well, but it looks like Matzoid had a pretty bad exit out of there, and Smitty is away and gone. As we see Greeny get dropped down a couple of positions, it looks like he had some form of slide. Gets overtaken by Geordie and Wahid. Smitty is trying to catch Bandcamp up again. Bandcamp 2.8 seconds away from Greeny there. So it's going to be some work to try and catch up. I mean, Greeny does have to pit, so there'll be something there, but...
Yeah, well, I mean... Greeny's struggling a little bit on that lap. He was, I don't know, something happened to him, but he was 3 seconds slower than cars in front of him. And
Wade on the outside gets bumped in the back by Geordie, who couldn't make the braking zone, and Potsy makes away with it scot-free. So Wahid did try to make the move, couldn't quite finish it. Luckily, Geordie's got no damage, so they'll just be able to reset and move on. Matzoid making the move on Smitty at the back. Taking 10th. So lap 18 of 36. And we're still very close racing in this midfield.
Only lost one runner, which is pretty impressive stuff.
Revo, 8.6 second lead. He does have a 3 second time penalty, but at this point it just really doesn't matter. As Wahid is trying to chase down this McLaren. And in this DRS section might be the place to do it. Let's have a look. He's chasing up quite quickly. Potsy decides to keep that inside line, which means the Mercedes has to go hard on the outside. The McLaren's picked well. Really well, but the Mercedes will have DRS again.
Pushed him up onto that curve.
Oh, he is defending hard! Hard defending! Potsy looking to close the gate! But the Mercedes isn't going anywhere. Oh, he's holding him off! They're side by side now coming into the end of Sector 2. Oh, but the Mercedes does have to pull away. Actually, no, it's still going! They're still side by side, down into 4th gear. Around the start of Sector 3, and Potsy is still in the lead. But it looks like Potsy's going into the pit. No, he's defending! Oh, what is happening? Wahid all over the back of that McLaren. And I have to give props to Potsy. That is really good defensive driving to hold that position.
That was some Leclerc Verstappen going on there for a good
yes, definitely.
80% of the lap. And
definitely.
It's not over, people. It's not over. Here we go again. Round
definitely 2. Not. Okay, so here it is on reset.
Oh.
Up on the left side. Now he's going to have a much bigger advantage coming into here due to how close he was on that DRS section. But even still, the McLaren is still side by side. However, it looks like Potsy had a bit of a bad exit, but now he's got DRS. So he'll have the advantage coming on the outside. The Mercedes takes the inside line, forces him out, and that is great driving by Wahid. So Wahid is doing to Potsy what Potsy did to him last lap, and it's kept him in 5th.
Impressive stuff, that.
Oh, that is so crazy. That is great driving. And all the while, Geordie's trying to clamber back as well. But he isn't the hard tyre, so the slower compound, of course.
Yeah, you could only make a 10th or 2 up during that battle. In the meantime, Band jumped Greeny. Greeny's starting to fall back a little bit. Smitty's right in there as well. Probably going to get him this lap up this hill. Greeny's tyres, he's really in there for the long haul. He wants to go straight to the softs, but look at it.
Alright, so Potsy now with the DRS. Will he be able to leapfrog Wahid? Wahid's looking. He decides to keep that outside line. Hard on the brakes. Oh, what a shutout! Forces the Mercedes completely off the track. That's going to allow Geordie now to try and make a move. And the DRS comes on. So it looks like the failure, if there was one, has subsided. Sneaky move there by the McLaren. Wahid nowhere to go but off. Might be something to look at, not sure.
Yeah, Geordie, I think he had to actually brake a little bit there when Wahid re-entered too, so... We'll see. Everyone's got their own perspective on it, but as it stands, it was clean.
Alright, so let's have a look. Here's Potsy. Comes around. So Wahid currently 0.7. That's a fairly substantial gap. Have a look at Matzoid at the back there, 0.4. And Bandcamp is slowly creeping up as well.
Greeny finally pits.
So he'll jump onto the softs, I guess?
Yeah. Softs to the end, so we'll try and get 15 laps out of him. should be doable.
So T-Mac makes an overtake on Nut at the back and Major Payne. Wow, okay. So that is quite a comeback. But still 21 seconds away from Shrimp. I'll have to keep an eye on that though.
Keep one eye on Greeny and see what sort of raw pace that Ferrari has at the back end here with fresh softs. If he can get himself back up to the points. Got to make up a good 15 seconds over the next 15 laps.
So 0.4 the gap now between Wahid and Potsy. Lap 22. We've still got 10 laps plus to go. And as it stands, Potsy's got himself a decent gap. He's driving away with this.
Penalties are starting to matter.
Oof.
And,
Flyboy makes the overtake up on that side. Oh, this camera angle is brilliant. Makes the overtake up on that side. Now he's going to try and chase Seb back down as Geordie makes an overtake. Oh, well, Matzo and Geordie are trading places. Oh, they're almost side by side coming down, and have a look. Bandcamp's not too far away. So as these guys fight, the Renault is looking to capitalise on anything they screw up. Coach,
Geordie's
what happened
to
T-Mac before?
Yeah. First, was it was still first lap, wasn't it? He ended up in the wall on the first lap, so there was a few argy-bargies, a couple of T-bones, some wing pieces, and T-Mac's in the wall right now. He is still in the wall. What's happening?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was. We just drove past him. He was on the wall.
Oh, no. Okay, so T-Mac's had a little bit of an incident again.
Yeah,
after
he's got an ironing board for a front wing now, so
he'll have to pull into the pits.
Yeah. Oh, if he even can. Oh, he's lost the rear end into the pit entry. Oh, that wasn't clean. So, unlucky for T-Mac. Looks like it's going to be a last place finish.
Oh, here we go. Matzoid in the Red Bull overtakes Geordie. Hard on the brakes. And he keeps the lead there, so he'll get a one-up on the Alpha. Now into 7th. His job to try and chase down that Mercedes.
Pretty impressive pace there for Geordie, actually. The last few laps, I was going to say, on those hard tyres, he's there or thereabouts in lap time.
And Wahid, just at the bottom of that hill, makes the move and overtakes Potsy there. That's a great job there from the Mercedes. He'll take 5th again. But I can't imagine Potsy's too happy. And we'll see if he can reclaim this spot. He'll obviously have DRS on that main straight. Essentially, this has just turned into the world's just most intense game of Leapfrog. Yeah. At least for the last 10 laps.
I think it's going to come down to who wants to be brave, makes a nice clean corner exit, and then does a dive to make it stick. Oh, Potsy gained a lot of time on Wahid through there, that first section. He's going to jump Wahid easy here. Fly past him up the hill.
Alright, so there's the move done by the McLaren. And early too. No battle through that hairpin. But that does mean that Wahid has DRS coming down the hill, and we know that Wahid isn't afraid to make that attack as he goes up on the outside. And look at Potsy trying to push the Mercedes ever so slightly off that track just to see if he can unsettle him. But Wahid fires it down, attack mode on, and still making it move. Have a look at this. Potsy is not letting up. He'll have to fall in line as Wahid takes that position.
Greeny combined made contact back there as well in the same corner, just a few seconds behind. Greeny gets that move done.
Jeez, Potsy and Wahid driving like it's the final race.
Oh, that's a good start.
This is great.
Getting into squeaky bum time now, 10 laps or so to go.
This is so great. And it's so hard because, have a look at this, Potsy up on the left side. It's so early up that hill. But it's almost not a challenge. However, as soon as they come into that braking zone, Wahid gets the advantage. They come down the hill, the DRS gets activated, and it starts all over again.
Didn't quite get the exit that time, Wahid, like he did the lap before. Matt's always entered the chat now. He's right behind him too.
All these drivers within 0.5 of each other, and while this is happening, Flyboy is slowly making up time on Seb. I'm watching that timer. It's gone from 1 second to 0.8 to 0.5. Right now, Flyboy's looking awfully close. I might just switch up to him. Let's see if he can catch up. It's 10 laps to go now.
So, you know, in telemetry, last lap, not this one just finished, but the lap before, 7 Flyboy did identical lap times down to the 10,000th of the second.
Oh! As Flyboy gets a little bit sideways, the curb getting the better of him. That's going to kick up some time there. Flyboy does have DRS. He'll be able to try and manage it. Hard on the brakes here.
0.6 faster than Seb last lap, so he's on the move. He's got all that ERS to play with, and he's starting to use it. Now Seb's using it in defence too.
Ooh, Greeny picking up a time penalty there. So, Revo with a 6-second time penalty now.
Ooh.
He's had 2 so far. 2 threes.
What's he starting to pull from Wahid just a bit? He's hoping Matsoy can get up and Wahid and fight him. It's looking like it's going to happen this coming lap.
T-Mac is stopped on the side of the track. I don't know what's happened there.
Just off the first corner. Surely he's not...
Coming out of... Yeah, not sure what happened there.
Low in the lawn at the moment. Oh, he's lost half a wing again. He's lost half his wing.
Oh, Seb picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's exactly what Flyboy needed. And Flyboy looks to go up on the left side. He's got to be careful. He might get forced off the track. No, it's pretty clean.
That was... Still side by side.
But Seb gets the DRS through the detection zone. So the Red Bull will skate in front.
Toss up.
That's nuts. So close between these guys. Flyboy just looking for anything. But Seb is making all the right moves to stay in the lead. They've only got, 8 laps to go. Flyboy's waiting for something.
3 seconds there for Matt. That gives him 6 seconds overall. Which will hurt in the midfield big time.
And all the while this is happening, just a couple of positions behind them, another Red Bull is looking to make a jump on the Mercedes. Wahid going a little bit wide. Matsoy trying to capitalise. So Wahid and Potty have been having a battle of attrition this entire race. Matsoy's been trying to capitalise on both of them. And Bandcamp is slowly but surely making his way up through the ranks to catch that Red Bull.
Don't discount Geordie either. He was actually the fastest of those runners that last lap. Was Geordie.
Oh my god, they're contacting each other. Matsoy just bumped Wahid. Bandcamp got up in the back of that car as well. Wahid looks to go up on the side. Oh, it's awfully close. These camera angles aren't helping me. McLaren goes up on the inside though, round the corner, so Potty regains 5th. And again, all the while, look at Matsoy. Close. Close, but awfully no cigar. Can he get it? He's trying his best to keep up through him. Bandcamp's not far behind. And as you point out, so is Geordie.
Geordie's hard tyres might come into play here as those mediums are wearing. They're still exchanging lap times, so they're identical across the board for these guys. There's nothing in it.
Oh, so close. And we're coming near the end of the race. And these guys aren't letting up at all. They're pushing these mediums to the limit. Bandcamp gets a fairly poor exit out of that corner. Have a look. Wahid is dropping time to the McLaren as the Red Bull pounces. You can see how close they are through the DRS detection zone.
T-Mac is off again.
Oh.
Poor bastard. Spun again. I don't know what his wings are made of this race, but it's not useful material, whatever it is.
He's just having awfully bad luck.
Yeah.
Throughout
just
this.
struggling with traction.
Shrimp makes a move on Jacob at the back.
Wrong.
Oh my god, okay. So here we are, 6 laps to go. And the battle you are watching is the closest on track. We've got Wahid trying to catch that McLaren. Matsoy trying to catch the Mercedes, and Bandcamp's doing everything he can to jump the Red Bull. And Geordie on those hard tyres, as this race progresses, he will get faster and faster compared to these other guys. But is it going to be enough?
They all did a low 108 on that last lap as well, so there's nothing in it, these guys. It's going to come down to who's got the biggest balls, I think, going into these corners.
Oh, Wahid's looking for an attack. He tries to jump on the inside, but the McLaren just has the legs. Now Wahid shoots off to the outside now as they come down the hill. Little bit of contact between those tyres. You can see the McLaren trying to force the Mercedes out as wide as he can. And all the while, have a look, the Red Bull is not going anywhere. Wahid is desperately trying to jump this McLaren.
Oh, he's
just not working! A poor exit! Oh no, they're sideways, he's caught the drift! He's caught it though! But it's going to allow Bandcamp and possibly Geordie to get past! Oh! Oh! Okay. Okay, alright, so the Red Bull tried to do an attack.
He's going to jump him back.
The Alpha makes the mistake. And the Red Bull takes back at least one position, so he's up in 8th. Now, it's reverse. He's going to chase down the yellow Renault. Oh my god. Oh, but have a look. Geordie's got there. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't have DRS. Neither of them do.
He does.
Oh, he does. It's blurred. I couldn't see the
Go big or go home.
That's exactly what's happening. 5 laps to go. Matzoid has made 1 position back. Geordie's trying to get it. Greeny makes a move on Lotus. Bandcamp 0.8 behind Wahid. Wahid trying to chase down Potsy. If it's the last thing he'll do, he just wants to beat the McLaren.
Oh, it's pretty clean too. You can't complain too much about it. Matzoid saw the opportunity to go up the inside and just
there was absolutely nothing wrong with that attack. It was a great attack. It was just, unfortunately, as they turn that corner, Matzoid gets caught up in the side of that Mercedes. And I have to admit, though, props to Matzoid for catching that drift. I thought he was in the wall. But he caught it. He lost some time, but at least he's still in the race, no damage. So there's still 4 laps.
Position through it, so that's not a bad gamble to take.
Yeah, that's right. There's still 4 laps to go. Matzoid can make this back up. The problem is he's more than a second away from Ban, so the DRS is going to be hard to get. But if he can make it within the next couple of laps, there's a good to fair chance he comes back. There's a good to fair chance he can make back that 7th position.
If Ban gets involved in this fight, then absolutely it's still in Matt's corner. This Wahid Potsy thing has gone off for freaking 30 laps, it feels like.
I think it's gone on for almost the entire race. So, Combined and Lotus make a move at the back. Combined manages to make that, gets into 12th. But the problem is, this is too good of a battle. And look, guys, I'm watching Flyboy. Don't think I'm not. He's only 0.5 behind Seb. He's been 0.5 for like the last 12 laps. He's trying to catch. But somehow, whether it's the sheer talent of the driver or the setup under his shoes, Seb is managing to keep away on both the corners and the straights. Even with DRS, Flyboy is having trouble nailing that move. But as I say that, Flyboy tries to go up on the outside, but look, the Red Bull shuts it again.
There's just no traction out there on that curb.
He shuts it again, and the DRS isn't on. Could there be a failure?
It's not on. It's not on.
God, if there's a failure right now, that is the worst. That would be the worst.
That's some cheese. Wahid's got it. He's going to try and jump Potsy here. The other side again. Contact.
Oh my god. As you can see, look, the McLaren doing everything he can within his legal limits to hold off that Mercedes. But it looks like Wahid will make the attack move through the shoehorn. Oh, can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. McLaren has no choice but to fall in line. Good job from Wahid, but here's the challenge. You've still got 2 laps, and that McLaren's not going anywhere. You've got to try and hold him off. Can he pull the defensive manoeuvres required to keep Potsy at bay?
And they're all driving on bottle caps too. It doesn't help. There's just no grip out there.
Oh, it's
slidey stuff.
It's so ridiculous to watch, but I can't turn away. Oh, he loses a little bit of traction, gets darted on the inside. Bandcamp's going to try and capitalise on that. He has DRS. This could be what Bandcamp needs in the last laps of the race.
Here comes Potsy.
Oh, can he get the braking zone? He's up on the inside.
Giving him the Stafford treatment. Oh, he doesn't. He plays nice.
God,
Band is
it's
right there
drag race city between these two as the Mercedes goes up on the outside. But have a look. Potsy's not. No forgiveness. No mercy as he goes up on the inside. A lock up on the front right. And all the while, Bandcamp is right behind them waiting to pounce. So the McLaren gets the position back. Wahid's still on the movement. And Bandcamp on board at the moment. You can see him. He's waiting. He's waiting for that one mistake from either of these two drivers to take up potentially 2 positions. But they've only got 1.5 laps to do it.
Here we go, people. The 33 lap car.
Oh, Potsy! Potsy's off the track, and he's also got a tyre penalty. That's his race done.
He bottled it on the
Oh, no way!
Damn it.
No way!
Absolutely on the limit the whole way through when it finally gave. Those tyres on the rear end just couldn't hold it. He's still in it, though. He's still within DRS zone.
So Potsy's now going to have to play catch-up, but 2 things have happened. One, well, 3 things actually. One, Wahid's now got his 5th position pretty much in the bag. All he's got to do is defend it from Bandcamp. 2, Bandcamp's made a position, so all he's got to do is try and chase down that Mercedes. And Matzoid is now back in the game. He is within that DRS position, but so is Geordie. And as they reach 23 laps, those medium tyres are going to be worn, whereas the hard tyres are going to have the better performance with that amount of tyre wear. So as it stands...
As it stands, Band is in 5th because Wahid has a 3-second
Oh, he
chance.
does too. He does too. Oh, God. So all Band has to do now is sit pretty. That's
He
it.
has to finish.
He just has to finish. All right. So lap 36 has been triggered. Revo still the leader of this race. Mikau 14.7 seconds behind. Revo is absolutely away with it. So right now it's a surefire bet that Revo wins this race. But right now what we want to know is, can Bandcamp overtake Wahid, or will he just sit pretty knowing, or I don't know if he'd know. He'd be able to ask. He'd be able to ask, what's his name?
Jeff.
Jeff. God, I forgot his name. All right.
Oh, wow, that was... Holy shit.
All right, so...
stand outside for a bit. That was too intense for me.
So Revo has won this race. Congratulations to the Renault. Exceptional driving. Mikau will come across in 2nd. Seb in 3rd. Flyboy tried everything to catch him, and he just couldn't do it. But, wait, does Seb have a penalty?
Seb has 3 seconds.
Oh.
That's Flyboy.
Oh, okay, they both do. Yeah, that's right, they both do. And here comes Bandcamp. Look how close he is right at the end, but he's sitting pretty. He's going to get 5th. He might even get 5th it is. As Potsy comes across, Matzoid and Geordie and the rest of the grid. My God.
That was some phenomenal driving in this race.
What a race. Oh.
Sorry to 96% of the field who we didn't see because of just what a ridiculous battle that was.
I tried, but I told you guys at the start of the
There's not much you
stream.
can do.
I'm trying to watch everything.
You can't look away from that.
But it was so good. That was such a good battle, and it was so unfortunate that Potsy just a little bit too hard coming into that last corner, goes off the track, not only picks up a penalty, but loses like 2 positions.
Just as it looked like he had it too, yeah.
So rough. But either way,
he did well actually to keep it out of the wall when he went off there. It easily ended his whole race.
Yeah, no, that's right. He did, and that just shows you the talent of some of these drivers here in Tier 1. You know, especially Matt. I can't believe Matzoid kept that drift. I honestly thought he was going to bin it into the wall, but he kept that drift, kept it on track. Not a bad position. I think he's 7th, right? Oh, sorry, 8th. He finished 8th. Look how many people had penalties. My God. So
Just
props to
4.1
Mikau.
yeah.
Props to Bandcamp. Props to only those drivers. Okay, so only those drivers. Oh, actually, no, there's someone at the back here.
Nut picked up. Nut was clean in 16th.
Nut was clean, there we go. Oh, God. Okay, guys.
Bad from hell for T-Mac, unfortunately. I'm not sure what happened with T-Mac.
Yeah, no,
See
T-Mac.
what he has to say.
T-Mac with a poor race, but hopefully he can fix that by
Went through the whole supply of Williams wings.
by the next Grand Prix. Okay, guys, that's been a crazy one. I now need a breather, so don't go anywhere. Of course, Tier 2 is just around the corner, but for Tier 1, that's all for us. I've been Kuno Zero. This has been CEO Carrot. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.
Catches.